next
No,
time.
I no like
I'll
like
tell you
let's
what. I'll tell
I
you
need-
what. If I can get 2 followers on Twitter, 2 new followers, I will do the next show with my shirt off.
That's all it takes.
2. Yeah, I haven't gotten followers and God knows that. 2 new followers on Twitter.
You know what this
Scotty Rock
reminds me of?
77.
This
And it
reminds
cannot
me
be you two making up fake
burner accounts.
Twitter accounts.
Coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Quinn Spinn. Hey now, and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, to a brand new edition of The Quinn Spinn. I am your host, The Quinn. I am back here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, YouTube, and more for another rousing and riveting installment. Scotty's heart just sank when I said YouTube, and you'll find out why in a second. Another rousing and riveting installment of the official podcast of Underground Music Collective. You just heard Revel 9's All I've Become, our opening theme song here at the Quinn Spinn since the great year of 2014. And it will be until the end of time. And this is a very special episode of the Quinn Spinn because, as you heard a clip at the top of the show, Scotty made us a promise. Scotty, would you like to tell the people what that promise was on the last time?
Yes, my promise was that I would grow my hair long enough to put it up, and I finally did.
that wasn't it.
That was not the promise you made on the
That wasn't it.
previous OG Family show. There was another one, Scotty. Do you remember what it was?
I don't recall. I don't think that was me. That might have been my twin Bobby Rock. I think he was there.
Oh, you mean Bobby Country?
Yes.
Bobby
Yes,
cousin.
Bobby Country.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right. Your
didn't
twin.
tell me.
Your twin.
Yeah.
And I'm Coach McQuakes, right? Yeah. Okay.
And-
Mhm.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
knew it.
No, I only said that because I'm not Coach McQuakes, and it's obvious that I'm not Coach McQuakes. I'm way more buff than Coach McQuakes.
Did you know that I tried to trademark the phrase DJ JD when I was in college?
Did you?
Already
That's
been
really,
done.
I like that.
Yeah, it's already been
Is that
done.
called a palindrome? Is
Yes.
that a
I
palindrome?
think so.
I tried to do it, but it was already taken. So
Something like that.
whoever is DJ JD out there in the world, I hate you.
Oh, whoa.
Wait, keep stalling. I like this. Keep talking.
Oh, no,
yeah,
that's I finished my point. That's it.
No,
I'm
there
not
has to be
derailing
more.
this because this
There-
is one of the most important moments of this show. Or
No, but I
this
wanna know-
this
I wanna
particular
know-
show, not of the Quinn Spinn as a whole.
No,
But I
of
want
the
to know
Quinn
more
Spinn
about
as a
your.
whole.
Oh, okay, well, fair.
I want to know more about your DJing history. Can you talk about that.
I've
for a
never
moment?
DJ'd ever. So the end. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Because I never got that trademark, and now you have to.
Take my
I was
shirt
about to
off. Fine.
ruin the surprise.
All right, I
So-
just want to say there was definitely probably a high B C cup going on.
Whoa,
Underneath.
whoa.
So please don't, keep.
Well, we got to set this up though for the people
Yeah,
that
we gotta
don't
set it
know
up.
what.
Do we?
So
Yeah.
so Scotty told us, quote, as you heard the clip edited in at the top of the show, that if he got 2 followers on Twitter, and it was later extended to Instagram as well later in the episode,
Oh, I
that
didn't
he
know
would
that.
do the next show shirtless in response to all of my fitness thirst traps on Instagram. And so
Never
he
seen
got
any of
not
those.
only 2 followers on Twitter, but he got 1 follower, a good friend
Woo!
of Gomez on Instagram, who was a previous guest. So that's a total of 3, Scotty. So you got your followers. Are you a man?
And
of your
I do
word?
need to shout them out. I do need to shout them out because I did say anybody not Mama Rock, please. I love you, Mama Rock, but these are not Mama Rock. I'd like to shout out Teddy D13.
Yeah, Teddy.
Two of my good friends, Mr. Teddy. I call him Theodora. That's what I call him. That's our little nickname, Theodora.
Quinn Spinn round of applause for Theodore.
And you're gonna like this name. My friend Joe goes by Giuseppe Chocolat.
Ooh,
Fancy.
exquisite.
Yeah, if you would like to follow them back, I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
Quinn Spinn round of applause for Giuseppe
So-
Chocolat as well.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for this embarrassment.
And then for Lauren Gomez on Instagram as well.
Yeah,
Follow-
thank you.
Yes,
And that was an immediate. As soon as you posted, she followed me.
she was
so.
on it. She was on it.
She was. You got some
Just
loyal,
like your shirt is not about to be on you.
loyal fans. It's gonna mess up my hair, though. I mean,
No,
wait,
it's not.
Can we just talk about my hair for a second?
We can.
I'm
Yes.
really not stalling, but can we just talk about?
While it's still pristine, yes, you have a man bun
Yes.
now. You've graduated.
What's your? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
I think that should be your look going forward.
Do you really?
Yeah. I think you can rock that long hair there.
Oh,
You can
I
Scotty rock
Scotty
that
rock
look.
it.
Scotty rock the look.
Okay, this is not a knock on you, but I just don't like man buns at all. So
Well, eventually, I want to move it to the
I-
ponytail once it gets.
okay,
warm.
fair. I
But,
think nobody should have a man bun. So
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, hey, if I can get more followers, you can tell me what you think.
But it makes you very distinctive.
Thank you.
It's a distinctive look for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
all right,
I feel like
it's
OnlyFans model or
it's happening.
can-
It's
a cam
happening.
girl. Can
We're
you
watching.
tip me? What can
Happening.
You tip me? Do I get a?
Oh, okay. Oh, the pepperonis.
Oh no.
Look, and the hair is still complete.
I was actually going to suggest that you just rip your shirt, but you actually like your shirt.
No, I do like that shirt. It's
Like
actually,
rip it like
I don't
Hulk
know if
Hogan, but
I don't know if anybody saw a little nostalgia trip.
yeah, that's the Camp Onawana t-shirt from Salute Your Shorts.
Not working with the blurred.
That's
out.
showing my age.
So
All right, are we happy? Are we
how do you
happy?
feel? How do you feel?
I feel liberated. I feel like a exhibitionist.
Do you?
Oh God, we were talking about that earlier.
I mean,
That's how I knew the word.
you feel good. Like, should I try it?
Yeah, because then the eyes will go to you. And I do want to say, I do think all of your thirst trap posts you've been posting have been more and more this week. So I think you were subtly like kind of.
I only did one thirst trap this week.
I don't even think I've like seen any.
There was
Am I just not
definitely
paying
something-
attention?
I'm going to compliment you. I don't know. Maybe it's a backhanded compliment. There's definitely something that was GQ worthy earlier this week.
Oh yeah, that one I post. Yeah, that's my new
Yeah.
profile picture.
Oh yeah, I posted that accidentally.
Mhm, I did.
Hold on, I gotta look at these.
My shirt just accidentally fell off.
Oh,
It
okay,
popped
yes,
off, right?
Yeah, just popped off. I just fell out of it.
yeah, but you also were like underneath a billboard. So did you
Yeah.
happen to accidentally drive to this billboard?
Well, no, that's the backyard of my gym, and that billboard, that giant weed
Oh.
billboard is there. It's a giant Delta 8 billboard.
I guess it just never registered in my mind that you posted a thirst trap on Instagram.
Yeah,
I guess I'm looking through. Oh, here's another one.
Yeah, thank you.
there are quite a few up there.
And maybe you could take the Quinn Quake background down. Make me feel a little more.
Oh, I see you here with this thirst trap tagging Finding Magic Mike on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to get picked. Trying to get
Trying
picked.
to get picked.
All seem to be very recent since I announced this.
Well,
But it's
I mean,
okay.
it's
It's okay. You know what? I'm comfortable in my skin.
I'm searching for my own empowerment here, Scotty. I'm searching for my own liberation, if you will.
Okay.
And honestly, it's going well for me. I have been approached to apply to be cast in TV shows. I actually have my first influencer campaign starting for Boost, which is a men's
Woo!
vitamin effervescent tablets. This just came via UPS. I'm going to start trying it tomorrow, and I get to leave them a review. Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said. I will change the Quinn Quake background out of respect. Coach McQuake's, he'll come back later. I'm sure.
I'm in space. I'm not changing
I'm
anything.
sure after seeing this body, he'll be contacting me very shortly.
I think he's calling you right now.
Yeah, check your phone.
Yeah, no, he is, but my phone's on silent, so I can.
Oh, you have him on. You've blocked his number.
I'll call him back.
You call him back.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll
Yeah.
see.
You
You
should.
control the narrative.
He's very worried about you, Scott.
Do it at your.
That's right. But I also am a little concerned that I'm drinking coffee with no shirt on, but we'll see how that.
Am I the only one here not drinking coffee right now?
Possibly.
Are you drinking coffee, Quinn?
I sure am. And
you-
I didn't trust the creamer in my fridge because it's been there a while. So I put a scoop of blueberry cobbler protein powder in it. It actually tastes pretty good.
And you're drinking coffee, Scotty?
I am, but I got the idea from Quinn.
Yeah. This is power coffee, though.
He's an influencer now.
He influenced you.
We have to do.
I
what
don't
he
have a
said.
beverage next to me.
I have two. I have a glass of water here too, but this is Power Coffee, which is the first Quinn Quake sponsored fitness beverage drink thing. Yeah, Coach McQuake's actually turned me on to this idea.
Oh, it's Quinn McQuake's an influencer?
You could say that. I mean, he definitely influences people to shake up their fitness.
Wait, his name is Quinn McQuakes?
Quinn McQuakes, yeah.
And you just happen to be the Quinn.
The Quinn, yeah. Isn't that a small world?
Yeah, and both of you look exactly the same.
Not he, again, I'm more buff, and he has sunglasses, and I do not.
Don't you think that the fitness coach would be more buff?
Well, I mean, that photo was from a couple years ago. I mean, maybe not, you know.
And
maybe
also,
he's more on cardio.
Quinn, why don't you put some glasses on, those sunglasses? Or
I don't have any. My
I
last
don't
pair
believe
broke. I haven't replaced them yet.
I don't
Yeah, I heard
believe
the
you.
sun doesn't come out in Nashville, right? You don't need them.
No, it rains here a lot, so you know, I don't really need them.
It rains a lot in Atlanta too. It actually rains more in Atlanta than it does in Seattle.
It rained really bad here in New York today.
Yeah. So yeah.
We're practically triplets.
Who needs sunglasses?
It's true.
So yeah. So I'm a Quinn-fluencer now, just like Coach McQuakes. I'm following in his footsteps.
Well, you're following pretty closely because you're the same person.
I don't know about that. So Scotty, you said before the show that you had gone on an adventure lately.
Oh yeah, let me tell you about my trip to Foxwoods Casino.
Oh Lord.
So the reason for our trip to Foxwoods was to see good friend of the show, Danny Arnold. I don't know if you remember him from years ago.
Yes.
Shout out to him. He took over the lead in the Fiddler on the Roof National Tour.
Wow.
He was understudying, and he's now finishing the tour as top billing. So we went to see him at Foxwoods. The performance was at Foxwoods, and which he gracefully told us, Fiddler on the Roof just doesn't belong in a casino, which is so true. However, it was a 2.5-hour drive, which was, a load of fun.
It's pretty far up there in Connecticut.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that far, but it was. It was about 2.5 hours. The casino itself is kind of a dump. It's so oddly like spread out. There's a main building where the hotel is, and then there's called like Foxwood Towers, where another strip of hotels is, and there's like 6 casinos in each place. It's just very weird. It's a weird layout, but it just seemed like trashy and dumpy. It just wasn't nice.
Was that your first time there?
It was my first time there. We've been to Mohegan Sun, which is very nice, which is a couple miles away. They're right next to each other. So I will say, go to Mohegan Sun before you go to Foxwoods, which we probably would have done if we were just going on a casual trip, but my brother wasn't, or Danny Arnold wasn't at
what a revelation.
We peeked behind the curtain. He wasn't at Mohegan Sun. But anyway, we made reservations at Guy Fieri's restaurant, which I was very excited about. Very disappointing.
Really?
I actually tweeted him how disappointed I was.
Oh.
Heard nothing.
So he wasn't one of your new followers on Twitter?
No, he wasn't. I was hoping he would be, at least as a consolation, but I might have, never mind. I was going to say I might have taken something else off if he did that, but just kidding. I ordered ribs, $35 ribs that came out extremely overcooked. I was very disappointed. One of my friends that I was with said the alcohol was just crap, and obviously overpriced. Elle ordered a steak, and so I was very proud of her because Elle's picky when it comes to food. And whenever she goes to a restaurant, she'll order like, if you see something on the restaurant that has a name and it's got 50 things on it, she doesn't want any of those things. She just wants a steak or she just wants a chicken, but she doesn't want all the sauces and the vegetables or whatever. So I always tell her, just order the meat that you want, because if you order that thing and say, I don't want any of that stuff on it, they're still going to charge you the same price because you're saying, I want that named item. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she actually did that. The steak came with like all kinds of potatoes and blue cheese and all the stuff she didn't want. So she asked the waitress. The waitress said she was actually picky too. And she would talk to the manager. Manager came over and said, no, you have to pay full price, even if you just want steak on a plate. So that was a little annoying, but whatever. She got her steak because she's pregnant. She can't have anything under medium.
Mhm.
And it came out rare. It was like bright red.
Yikes.
So she said, I can't have this. Meanwhile, all of our food is out. She said, no, eat. They made her a brand new steak, which was great. Bought it out when we were practically done with our meal. And it was also kind of pink, and they bought the wrong fries. And we paid a shit ton of money. So I hate to throw Guy Fieri under the bus because I do watch his shows on Food Network and I do like him, but I was very, very disappointed with the lack of standards at a restaurant like that. And you would expect in a casino, you would expect it to be, you know, a little bit better. So then we went to the show, and the show was fantastic. However, halfway during the show, and it's all about, like, you know, Jews being persecuted in Ukraine. I mean, it's very topical of what's going on in the world right now.
Right.
But in the middle of the show, you hear somebody's phone go off with like Leonard Skinner ringtone. You know, I guarantee they gave tickets to the high rollers that had no desire to be there. Half the place cleared out once intermission happened because they had no idea what they were going to. They probably got free tickets.
Yeah.
So that was a little disappointing, just because it was rude and people were talking and people, you know. But again, Fiddler on the Roof, if you know the show, it doesn't belong in a casino.
Right.
It's a very, very heavy show.
Yes.
And then to end the trip, the rooms at the casino were about $450 a night. So we did not stay there.
Jeez.
We stayed at, I don't remember the name of it, but it was a motel that cost about $140. I swear 10 people had to be murdered in this place.
Like when you were there?
Yeah, while I was there in our room. No, this place was just creepy, right out of a horror movie. I slept with all of my clothes on. I put my hands inside my shirt because I didn't want my arms sticking out. It was disgusting. I went to pee in the middle of the night and a spider started walking around the floor.
Ah!
It was just disgusting. Stains all over the place. The walls had holes in them. I mean, we got what we paid for.
I mean, 140, you would think you'd get a little more than...
Well, yeah. But in my mind, I figured, okay, we just need a place to lay our heads. We'll leave in the morning. But this place was disgusting is an understatement. So overall, the highlight was Fiddler on the Roof and getting to spend time with Elle and two of our friends.
And Danny Arnold.
And Danny Arnold.
Who is not your brother.
Who's not my brother. I don't know why I said that.
Because you love him like a brother.
I do. I love him like a brother. Yeah.
See, look at me bailing you out here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, the highlight was the show and the low light was everything else.
All right.
But I did not lose that much money, which was nice.
That is good. That's
so I only left, I think, down $20, $30.
Yeah.
Out of like 300. So.
Well, that's good. And now you're here shirtless on the Quinn Spinn to tell them.
And yeah. See how that happens.
Full circle.
Dreams do come true, friends.
My dream's coming true right now.
You were sleeping with all your clothes on, pressed against yourself, and now you are shirtless on a podcast.
There you go.
In the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, exactly.
Is your background mafia?
Mine?
Yes.
No, I'm doubting the fact that Quinn McQuakes and the Quinn are the same person.
Gotcha.
Or not the same person.
Is from the video game Mafia.
Oh no, he's from the video game LA Noire.
That's what I meant.
That's kidding. Cole Phelps.
Yes, I know the game.
Yes.
I played
Very good game.
All I know is that I just helped Scotty clear up that Danny Arnold is not his brother. So I would appreciate the same in return, Scotty, the next time this Coach McQuakes thing comes up. If you could vouch that I am not Coach McQuakes. No, nothing.
Thank you.
Nothing.
My case is getting stronger by the podcast.
Are you guys talking? Your mic, I think your mic went off.
Oh, did it? That's interesting. That's very.
I actually kind of believe him.
No, I can't hear you.
That's very convenient. That's very convenient. That's all.
I think with having no shirt on, it makes his hearing tough. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? I'm gonna have to test that theory. I think. You know what?
So.
We're doing
whoa,
it.
Whoa!
We're doing it. No, it's two of us.
I'm not taking my shirt
and
off.
I can still hear.
I'm not
still hear it all.
Well, it's.
So I'm just gonna I'm gonna do the show like this.
I'm. Look, I have some boundaries in my life, and taking my shirt off on a podcast is a boundary.
Oh, that's fine. That's
that I'm
fine.
not willing to cross.
You do you, boo boo. I just
unless I get 1 million Twitter followers.
Wait, so can I put my shirt back on? Is that what you're telling me?
I actually
you want to take over?
I'm gonna put mine back on. It's hot in here though.
I know you said you do the whole show like this, but I actually kind of feel bad.
I fulfilled. Come on, be good to me.
You know what?
I mean,
okay.
Technically, with how much we've talked about, we've pretty much done a show.
We have.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
Like,
on the count of 3, we'll both put our shirts back on,
and we can keep them on.
Okay. Although it's hot as blazes in here, and honestly, I might prefer to keep mine off. But because for the sake of moving on. Okay, 1, 2.
Wait, I don't want to mess up my hair, so you're gonna do it faster than me.
Okay. I'll count slower. 1, 2, 3.
This is probably one of those episodes where if you're just listening, you're probably thanking your lucky stars.
I mean, no, I think everybody should be watching the show, but this
show is being pushed the hell on you.
I think if there's one show that you should probably just listen to, it's probably this one. I'm being a hater also. I'm also being a hater. Let me just put that out there as well. Full transparency. I'm being a hater.
This took a lot for me to do. I just want you to know that.
I appreciate it. I'm not saying that I'm not mad at you.
No, I know. But I really didn't think I was going to get any followers.
Oh, true.
That's why I kept the number so low, because I thought it was literally unattainable to get any followers.
I told you I had a plan, and it worked.
You did. However,
we got it done.
Never mind. Well, listen, I'm glad I was able to entertain for however long we've been on since I took it.
We're over halfway done with the show.
Yeah, and we've still got plenty of show to come.
And we haven't even done intros.
Yeah, I mean, JD, we haven't even done your intro.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right, let's do it. So Scotty, you ready? You ready for the next thing?
Yes, and it's actually good because I was trying to find a way to do shirtless stupid news as my background. But I couldn't figure that out. But now I don't have to. So
no, you don't. You are back to
regular man bun.
Whatever we do
Scotty.
now.
Man bun Scotty.
Man bun Scotty.
Hashtag
ready when you are, boss.
Bobby Country.
Bobby Country.
Let's get it. Let's go right into some stupid news with Scotty Rock.
All right, are we ready? I know you guys loved last show's stupid
that one was good.
And I don't know if I can top it, but this one I think is kind of funny. ABC 15 out of Florida, and the headline reads, Florida woman claims wind blew cocaine into her purse.
I'm ready.
I know. I just want to make sure everybody's ready. All right. Authorities say a Florida woman is blaming a windy day for the cocaine that police found in her purse. WPLG reported Kensia Posey was one of 2 passengers in a car stopped by the Fort Pierce police in late March. Police say an officer smelled marijuana, and that after searching the car, cocaine and marijuana in separate bags were found inside a purse that Posey had on her lap. Authorities say they questioned Posey about the drugs. According to the police report, she responded, "Oh, it's a windy day. It must have flown through the window into my purse." She was charged with a felony count of cocaine possession and a misdemeanor count of marijuana possession, and was later released on a bond. It was not immediately known if she has a lawyer.
So, I mean, did she just pretty much be like, well, I'm caught anyway, I might as well make up something dumb?
I don't know, but I feel like I found this article on another news site, and it said that she said the marijuana was hers, but the cocaine wasn't.
Oh, how did that get there? I've been framed by the wind. Yeah, I mean, she had to know she was screwed, and just like, well, I'm going to say the dumbest thing and just see if it gets me off the hook. I'm going to see how far I can push this.
Yeah, I mean, that is Florida for you.
JD,
I'm glad I'm entertained.
JD's having a moment over here.
I'm on a
I
roll.
did.
I'm on a roll with these stupid news.
It only took the headline.
JD's having a
Just the progression from Florida to the headline, and I was done.
So we know if the tournament were today, what wins for JD?
I mean, you got the 1 and 2 seeds already. I mean, whew.
Wait, which would you pick though if you were on the panel?
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't hear much of the actual story, so I probably have to read
literally
it.
The headline was the story.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they always say when you pitch something to somebody, you gotta have a good hook. That was a good hook.
that was a great hook. That was a knockout right there.
That was. Woo! I'm still laughing.
Scotty Rock really
not even possible.
Scotty really cleaning up with these stupid news.
Well, I feel like after that cheese one, I had to really redeem myself.
Okay, so
not
update.
good.
All the protein powder went to the bottom of this,
which is why it didn't taste bad.
Well, I mean, the flavor was there the whole time, but now it's really gritty and
gross.
I just love how, as you were reading that story, there's just a bed of me laughing. I have a feeling that's going to be very interesting to listen to.
Especially
I'm crying. There are tears.
I mean, listen, the lady falling into the outhouse and using leashes to try to get herself out is pretty.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly, I can't remember a single other stupid news you've done because I'm laughing so hard. I'm truly in the moment, which I
think the last one might win for me so far though, just because she rappelled down, into the toilet hole
with dog leashes.
With dog leashes, yeah, like she was like MacGyvering her way down into the toilet.
Maybe you just combine this headline with that story, and then you just have something that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, like she found it down when she rappelled down into the toilet hole,
and somehow cocaine ended up in the toilet bowl from the wind.
It got blown in afterwards
in Florida. I just came back from Florida.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There are a lot of cocaine flying around.
I'm gonna tell you something. It was pretty windy on the beach. I didn't see any cocaine. So I don't think her story has a whole lot of merit.
Yeah, I don't think it checks out.
So either. Which
although
it's stupid.
If there is one place on planet Earth that I could believe that cocaine, drifts in the wind, it is Florida. So
this is true.
I mean, if she were in like, I don't know, Fargo, North Dakota, no shot.
Yeah, you wouldn't really find it up there.
So. No shot. No, you'd have heroin in that wind.
Moving
on.
Moving right along. Well, good job, Scotty, again.
Wait, speaking of horror, have you guys heard about the Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
Oh my
gosh. I mean,
did
you see my background at the start of the show?
Hold on, I have a Winnie the Pooh background that I can put on for this as well.
Scotty, why don't you?
I think that was that actually a press photo from the movie coming out.
That was a scene from the recording their lines.
So Scotty, why don't you enlighten us as to this thing?
So Winnie the Pooh recently went into public domain, which for those of you who don't know what public domain is, actually Quinn, you could probably explain that better than me.
So like after a certain number of years, things that were previously copyrighted or trademarked, or one or both of those things, the trademark or copyright expires, which means nobody holds the rights anymore, right? Essentially, so anybody could use it
without
paying.
Example of public domain is like the song Happy Birthday, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why no one gets sued at their birthday party when you sing Happy Birthday.
Yeah, and nobody has to pay royalties on it because the trademark or copyright, I forget which, expires, which means it's free for the public to use.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. So Winnie the Pooh recently went into public domain, and people quickly got on that and are making a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, as you see the main character. And from what I gather, the synopsis is Christopher Robin grows up and goes and, starts his own life as an adult and leaves Pooh and Piglet behind, and they become feral and end up eating Eeyore. And
What?
then Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, Christopher Robin comes back with his wife, and Winnie the Pooh and Piglet go on this murder spree. And
What?
apparently it's very sadistic. And yeah, I'm excited for it.
When's this coming out?
I
No, it's still in production. If you want to talk amongst yourselves, I can.
I don't know if I want to watch this.
I do.
Well, I also don't like the horror genre to begin with.
I don't love it either. It's in post-production right now.
Oh, so it's coming.
It's almost done. Wait,
Yeah.
so they this isn't like they had this planned.
Well, I want to see when Winnie the Pooh actually went into public.
Yeah, somebody was waiting around for Winnie the Pooh to go into public domain.
Yeah.
And sat around doing some kind of drug, like, what would be great, man, if Winnie the Pooh and Piglet were like serial killers, man.
The writers of this movie probably got some of that cocaine from the wind in Florida and then wrote this.
It's blown in the breeze.
Just, yeah.
So it actually went into public domain on January 1st of this year.
So somebody was waiting for this. Somebody already had this well scouted, probably already had this in production, but just kept it under wraps until then.
Yeah. It was probably already filmed by January 1st.
Yeah.
Or almost done or something.
And then, here we are. We're about to have this movie unleashed upon us all.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Y'all have fun watching that movie.
I don't know. I didn't say I'm going to watch it. I don't think, I don't know.
Somebody wrote, this is objectively the worst idea for a movie since the Human Centipede.
I mean, yeah, they're probably right.
I did send the screenshot to my niece Amber, and I'm like, this looks like something.
Why?
Because she would enjoy it, and she replied confirming as much. She's like, oh my god, I can't wait. Like she is.
I can't find a release date though.
She's all into that kind of stuff. Like she watches Stranger Things. I mean, she's almost 13. She's like,
that's crazy.
Not watching like Caillou anymore. Thank God, Caillou.
Elle likes love. Actually, I shouldn't say like. She loves horror movies and actually has no desire to see this.
I thought you were going to say she loves Caillou. So watch your mouth.
No. I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to her about Caillou. Caillou's not I mean, my daughter doesn't watch that. Yeah. I don't know if that's like a thing now. I don't think it's
anywhere.
No,
probably because everybody hates Caillou.
Kids these days. Now it's Coco Melon, Little Baby Bum. That's a big one in our house. Here Comes Simon. Chip and Potato. What else? Kit E Cats. Those are some and Mother Goose Club. Those are some favorites rolling around our house.
I've clearly been out of the loop for a good while.
Yeah.
The Caillou reference gives me away. So yeah, Winnie the Pooh about to eat Eeyore, coming to a big screen near you very soon. So I wanted to take a complete turn from that here on the Quinn Spinn. We're actually focusing on more community causes here at Underground Music Collective. We actually, as of air date this past Tuesday, just held a benefit for Safe Haven Family Shelter here in Nashville. It went amazingly, even though we're recording this before it happens. I'm sure it did because everybody's like so excited about it. Safe Haven, the 8 female singer-songwriters we have, everybody. And this idea has got me thinking, we should do more community events that benefit a cause. And so I ask you, gentlemen, as part of the OG platform that spawned Underground Music Collective, what are some causes that are important to you that maybe we should support?
Animals.
Yes. You are a big animal guy. Dog.
Whenever I see, animals. Mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 top ones for me.
Yeah. I mean, mental health, of course, is a prominent one specifically in the music industry, because, I think COVID really knocked the wind out of a lot of sails when everybody was out of work, so that there's some low hanging fruit there. But the animal one, I mean, there are animal shelters everywhere too,
Yes.
and obviously very important to build awareness of the benefits for the animal and society, where when you go and, adopt from a shelter as opposed to going and shopping, so that's definitely something we can get behind. And yes, Scotty, I mean, as a dog trainer in a previous and perhaps current life.
No, previous, haven't done in a while, but it's always a part of me.
Yeah. Big dog guy.
Yeah. And I just, I worked closely with shelters, and it was just sad to see either dogs that were there for a long time, older dogs especially. Nobody wants an older dog, which I think is horrible. Everybody goes for the puppies, and the cute little young dogs, and so many shelters have dogs that are 13, and they're probably not going to have a lot of time, but give them a home, give them a loving home.
Right.
Or the reverse was, people who would adopt a dog and then say, oh, it's too much energy, and bring it right back. That's, I mean, it just makes me sick of just abused dog. It's that's the number one. I mean, animals to me is personally, that's my number one. Mental health. My cousin OD'd and had mental health issues, and so that hits home as well. And died. So
like I said, the mental health one, I mean, we've been talking a lot about mental health on the show here lately, just kind of across the board, interviews, and it seems like everybody's going through something, especially over the past couple of years. So noted. I mean, that's definitely something for me too. Like, it's been a bit of a journey the past few years, settling in here in Nashville, navigating all that, being 800 miles away from everything. So I'm with that.
Listen, I started therapy a few weeks ago, and I have no problem telling people that, because I think it's healthy, and I've actually felt a lot better. And it's nothing specific. It's just, stress upon stress upon stress.
Right.
But it's just good to talk to somebody who's on the outside.
Yeah.
That's not going to judge, and that can just listen, and somebody that can be just empathetic and just tell me everything's going to be all right. I'm doing a good job. It's nice to hear that, somebody who's not what objective is that?
Have an objective source.
Yeah.
And
I tell people all the time, therapy's great.
I actually, I'm starting in a few weeks. Actually, I'm on a wait list right now. Finally biting the bullet. I've been kicking that around for a couple of years, and now here in 2022, decided it was time for a couple of reasons that we don't have to get too far into on the show, but we were maybe talking about a little bit off the show. But no, it's just time, and what it does is it gives you that objective source, to give you that feedback, not only like that empathy and support, but also getting you to see things, your patterns. And I think it's important to do it not only when things are challenging, but also to maintain a level of maintenance when things are good. As small issues pop up, and you can talk through them, and be given better tools to deal with them in the moment. So that's the hope. That I hope I get to that point, when I've been doing it for a while. But I'm looking forward to starting myself. And I think it's something more people, especially men, need to talk about in this society, because for so long it's been stigmatized, especially if you're a man in this society, to seek that kind of help. I think we all grew up in an era where it just wasn't talked about. And if it was, like, people looked at you sideways, so I'm glad to see conversations like this happening, conversations happening across the board, because they need to. So good job, Scotty. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of me too. Thank you.
Lots of Quinn Spinn rounds of applauses is today. JD, how about you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna reiterate the mental health stuff, because I mean, for the last, I think 3 years now, I just recently had a birthday. But for the last 3 years now, I did a Facebook fundraiser for To Write Love on Her Arms, which is a nonprofit that raises awareness for depression and and I first encountered them at college when they had some people show up at our college and give some information. I really like their org, so I've done some fundraisers for them for the last 3 years. And yeah, I mean, when you talk about people that it just seems like there's a lot of people going through stuff right now. I mean, I'm going through I've been going through a huge fight with depression and anxiety. And now I'm last couple of years I've realized I had borderline personality disorder. And I'm really going through it, and I've really been going through it the last 6 years. I've been in the hospital for some really, really dark thoughts, more times than I'd like to admit. And it's just, mental health is it's so important. And I think I still don't think that people really truly understand that. I think the stigma that is associated with it has lessened, thank God. But I still really don't think that people really truly see mental health as something, on the same level as physical health.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it should be right there.
Yeah.
I think it's more important personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look at every health insurance plan I've ever had, and I don't think a single one of them has ever had behavioral health attached to it. Like, that tells you everything you need to know about how seriously or not it's taken in this country right now. And there's a lot of problems with healthcare, but that, I think, to me, is number one, or close to the top, is the fact that we still have a lot of work to do. Yes, it's being destigmatized some, especially, as society as more information becomes available, and especially, with social media opening us up to it for better or worse sometimes, but there's still so much work to do.
Yeah, there really is. And I think another thing that really disappoints me, or actually it doesn't disappoint me and makes me furious, is how poor or how ill-equipped we are to handle people that have very serious mental health issues. I'm sure there are millions of people, maybe even billions of people on this earth that have struggled with depression or anxiety for, a period of time or a season of their life, a couple months, maybe a year. But for people like myself that have had severe depression the first time I saw a therapist, I was in 7th grade. I first started taking medication, I was in 7th grade. And, just to have this level of depression, and I just feel like I'm stuck and I can't get better. I don't know if it's my fault or if I don't know if it's a system that's failed me. And I'm sure it's failed so many other people that suffer with it to the level that I do. And it just makes me feel like a failure. And what do you do for those people? I don't know. And I don't know. I really truly don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like a light needs to be shown more on those people that really truly struggle with it. and we need to do something for those people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where maybe that would help.
For people to know they're not alone.
Yeah. But maybe that would help you too.
Well, it's, that phrase, you're not alone. I love the intent behind it.
It's like easier said than done.
Well, it got to a point about maybe 4 or 5 years ago where I started feeling like what I was going through was so bad that now I felt alone again. Because there would be people like, I've struggled with depression, anxiety. They're like a couple of years ago, I really struggled with it, but I got through it. It's like, well, I'm still not through it yet. It's like you hear from people that are on the other side of it. And I rarely hear from people that are still in the midst of it, like I am.
Right. That's a conversation that needs to happen more,
Yeah.
Because I also think part of that is how many of those people who say, I got through it, I'm on the other side, life's great, are just putting on for the gram. Let's be honest.
Well, to be fair, those people that I've had those conversations with were in person.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I
also think, like you said, that stigma where people are still afraid to admit that they're in the midst of it. I'm sure they're out there. They're definitely out there. But they're not gonna be outspoken about it.
It feels like the stigma still exists for people like me who I haven't been to work. I mean, full transparency here. I know this is supposed to be a lighthearted show. It's fun, but I know we've talked a lot about mental health on the Quinn Spinn lately. Yeah. I haven't worked since 2019 because I attempted suicide at work in 2016. And there's just this, my therapist said, you have PTSD from that incident at work, and it affects your ability to want to work or your ability to handle work. And that just seems so insane to me. How can that be the case? But when you sit down and think about it, it makes sense. But it's just like, how do I become okay with that scenario or with where I'm at with that? Because we put so much value on our work life. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people define themselves by their work life,
especially in masculine culture.
Yeah. And it's just, I sit here, again, full transparency. I had to sell my place. I had owned a condo. I had to sell it and move back in with my parents in my 30s. I don't have a job, and my full-time job now is to get better. I've done several treatments, met with various people. I go to therapy once, sometimes if things get bad, twice a week. Like, my full-time job right now is getting better.
But I feel like that's good.
Yeah, it's just really hard for me to tell myself that that's good. And my therapist constantly tells me she's proud of me for the progress that I've made, but it's progress that I can't see for myself. Yeah. And that's part of the problem. And it's just, how do you separate from that, just, that, kind of concept of defining yourself in your work life? Because I think a lot of people do.
I think that was ingrained in our society from a young age,
Yeah.
Get the good grades, go to a good school, get a good job. We were told, Jay, you and I went through the same school system a year apart.
Yeah.
We were told that going to college and getting a job in that school system was point blank the only way you'd ever be successful. And I had a 1.9 GPA in high school. We were told that crock of bullshit, and it's not true.
And look
And
at
I'm gonna
me.
take a-
I almost had a 4.0.
But I think like there's everyone's on their own journey, you know, and it's like just because your work life isn't there doesn't
Mhm.
make you a failure, you know.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't look like just because it doesn't look like society's picture of success, it
Yeah.
doesn't make you a failure. You've made progress in your life. You know, you've made progress from where you were to where you are. And it's hardest for us to see that progress.
And it's also hard to say, fuck everybody else.
You're right.
You would like to say, you know what, this is what I'm doing. It's best for me. Forget what everybody else says. It's much easier said than done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also tough too, because I'm sure you want to just say, you know what, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I know how far I've come, but then on the other hand, there's always that cloud hanging over saying you should be doing more, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, these phones here don't make that easier to get past because there's so much fun. There's social media.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, are you doing what's best for you? And if you are, keep doing it. You know, that's all any of us can do.
This year, my motto this year specifically, and I know we've talked about it, I don't want to talk too much about it just because I don't know who from my work is going to listen to this, especially now the 2 coworkers were my followers. But this year specifically at my job has been the most stressful. You know, I work in a school with children, high school students with autism, and on a daily basis, I have. Is JD frozen?
No, sorry.
No, it looked like you're frozen.
No, I'm
On a daily basis, I have desks thrown at me. A student threw a milk carton at my face and I got a bloody nose. I mean, and it could have been, if there was a stapler sitting there, it could have been a stapler. If there was a whatever, every single day. I've had students tell me they're going to kill me. The other day I was told by a student, I'm going to put you in a coma. I mean, it comes with the territory. This is what I signed up for. But I said to myself when I really started feeling the stress, I need to take care of me and my mental health. And if I need to take a day off, then I need to take a day off. And I'm at the point now where I've taken too many days and now I'm getting docked every time I take a day off. But you know what? My mental health and my sanity is more important than $100 coming out of my paycheck. And yes, $100 is a lot of money, but in my mind, I need to know that I'm okay.
Mhm.
And I don't want to put myself in that situation where I know I'm going to fail and I know I'm not going to have the mind to do it. And I'm not in the right frame of mind. And that's been, excuse me, my motto this year is I'm going to take care of myself.
Mhm.
I'm not going to get fired. And if I do, you know what? I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, I have my sanity. I'm not getting death thrown at me. I know that I took care of myself, you know,
Yeah.
and this is the first year and the first time that I've really actively thought about my mental health every single day because of what I go through on a daily basis. And it's so hard to say, I need to take the day just to reset myself. Because it is my job and I do take my job seriously. And I have that work ethic for my job. But on the other hand, I need to take care of me, you know, because then I bring it home to my family. I bring it home to my daughter, who's, 3 years old. I don't want to take it out on her. I don't want to take it out on my wife. I don't want to take it out on my family. So that's where I'm coming from. It's like, and it's hard to say, you know what, because I'm also the kind of person, this is something that I've been talking to with my therapist, is that I always feel like people are judging me. I always feel like somebody's mad at me for something. And it's all in my head. And I know it's all in my head, but always in the back of my mind, I'm doing something wrong. Somebody's mad at me. Somebody's pissed because I didn't do this or that or whatever it is. Can't even come up with an example right now, but I always have that fear. And that stems from my childhood and stuff that happened when I was younger. I know exactly where it stems from, but Being able to say I need to take care of myself also has that back end where I'm like, well, if I do take off and I take care of myself, somebody's going to be mad at me, my boss, my coworkers, because I'm not there pulling my weight. And it's like, it's a never ending cycle, like I have that in a different way where it's just, that's all that's happening is this cycle in my head, just turning. And it ends up with added anxiety, stress, all those things. And it is not easy, which is why I said, you know what, I need to talk to a therapist and I need to talk to somebody who's on the outside, because it came to a point where I just didn't know what to do anymore. I would come home shaking, so stressful. I would come home and I would like lock myself in the room and tell my family, I can't talk. I need to be by myself. But that's not fair to me, and that's not fair to them. I shouldn't have to come home every day and feel like I need to just be by myself. Like your family's supposed to be there for you and comfort you, but I was pushing away because I didn't know how to channel the anxiety and the stress.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's different, but I get that feeling of never feeling content and never feeling okay. There's always something happening. Somebody's mad, somebody's this, somebody's that. I get it.
Yeah. And I think one of the toughest things about, trying to get better in terms of mental illness, and sometimes even with physical health too, is this is kind of an analogy I use in my therapist on Wednesday. Like if there's something wrong with your car, you get a light on your dashboard that tells you what it is. And like, it's pretty easy to diagnose what the problem is and fix it. But when it comes to, the human body, it's so hard to pinpoint exactly what the problem is. So like, at least for me, it is like,
I think especially, if it's in your brain and in your mind, if it's something you can't see or feel remotely in a physical body part.
Yeah.
And it's just off feeling, just something's not right. And
it's tough. And then you try to like think about all the different things that you can potentially adjust to get better, and then it just becomes overwhelming because that's a lot of different things. And it's, do you focus on one or do you try to do a little of all of them? I mean, it's just I'm still trying to figure out the best way for me.
But I also think there's no, like they say when you have a kid, there's no direction book. There's no right way to do it, and if everybody follows this list in this order, you'll be fine. You might have the same thing as somebody else. You could be standing right next to each other, but what might help them isn't going to help you in the same order.
Yeah.
Right.
I think something that I adopted last summer, right around this time, because I was struggling pretty hard last summer, which is a big part of the reason we didn't record any of these last summer, was the idea of make today go well. It's all you can do. Can't change what's back there. What's up ahead is what's up ahead, but what you're going to do today will help determine what's up ahead, right? And all we can do is deal with the situation in front of us, deal with how we're feeling right now, deal with the scenario that we're presented with. Literally everything else is out of our control other than what's right in front of us and our reaction to it. And that's something that like, it's a practice. I listen to, I don't know if anyone else listens to The Angry Therapist here, but it's a great podcast. John Kim out in California is brilliant, and, he hammers that point home all the time, in terms of, you just have to, just in a sense of being present, like it pays to be present. There was a specific phrase he uses that is slipping my mind at the moment, but all you can do is focus on today. He works with a lot of relationship dynamic issues, and he always says love without your past. Focus on this current situation. There's so much conditioning, there's so much noise that does cycle around our minds, but we have to give ourselves a chance, and as difficult as it is to to look at things objectively. And this is what he says is it's called a daily practice because it takes practice. It's not just like, I'm healed, I'm good, like finish line. No, things crop up and they will keep cropping up, and it's just a matter of how we're able to sit with them, identify them, and address them, and it is hard to do, especially, if you do have a serious diagnosis or, so like, I don't have that. I don't know what that's like. I can't speak to that, but there's something to be said for controlling your controllables, controlling what you can do to show up best for yourself every day, so.
JD, I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being so vulnerable.
Thank you.
Open. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. I had to get rid of the Winnie the Pooh background thing because I couldn't take myself seriously.
I'm really happy I had my shirt back on for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. Good thing we let you off the hook.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, like that you thank you.
Yeah, I think had your shirt still been off by the time we got to this, I would have been like, hey Scotty, you can put your shirt back on for this. Like I can boost my mental health in other ways. I don't need your shirt to be off.
Well, listen,
I can get my dopamine elsewhere.
If that would help in any way, you let me know any day. I'll call you with my shirt off.
It won't. You don't have to ever take your shirt off ever again.
I mean,
but I do want to also not to backtrack, but I was going to mention the charity that you use. When my cousin did pass, I actually started a fundraiser for that same charity.
To write love on her arms.
Talking about, so I definitely agree. They do really good work, and that was important to me.
And they've sent me a thank you with some fridge stickers and some other cool things every year that I've done it too. Cool. So I really appreciate the acknowledgement and the stuff that they send me as thanks.
No, I definitely I like them. I donated to your thing. I'm not looking for accolades.
And if they're hiring,
I love them.
If they're hiring, I'd work for y'all.
Where are they out of?
Oh, now I just feel like a jerk, and I'm definitely not getting the job now because I don't know.
Sorry. Like that was
Thanks
an
for burying me.
I wasn't trying to trap you.
I'm just kidding. I'm googling it right now. I'm pretty sure it's Melbourne, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Florida.
This is the good part of Florida.
Good part of Florida.
This is
not where the cocaine flies in the wind.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to keep that joke away from
this
nonprofit
conversation.
Let's try to keep those two separate. That was probably like in another part of Florida.
Yeah.
But anyway, look them up, donate to them, whoever's listening, please, because they're doing good work.
They're doing good work, and maybe that's to kind of bring it full circle. That's definitely a potential target for us, as we continue to map out our work in the community here. So,
yes,
thank you both for being so open, being so vulnerable. Everybody who listens to this has heard enough of my shit, So, we need more conversations like this, and I'm proud of you, JD, in particular, but both of you guys for opening up, because we need to see if this is real.
Yeah,
that's we need to see. Everyone needs to see that this is real, and for different people, real means a different thing. And with varying levels of intensity and severity. Mm-hmm. We need to understand the full spectrum of that so we can show up better in society and destigmatize it. I think depression, anxiety, they're not a one size fits all.
No,
by any stretch of the imagination, and it's just something that needs to be, the awareness needs to be built. So I appreciate you both for detailing your experiences. I think that's super important. So, well, we have a couple things left here on the show. First of all, we did want to acknowledge the violence that's been taking place in our country recently. In Uvalde, I think is the pronunciation, and other locations throughout the country. It's got to stop, man. Like, it's just got to stop. Like, by now we know what the problem is, and we talked about this a bit on the previous episode too, with Ken Newman out of San Francisco, who, you want to talk about a humanitarian. He's doing tremendous work out there, specifically with the homeless population. But, we touched on this violence. We've touched on the unrest in this country and the systemic failures contributing to it. And it's time to really look ourselves in the mirror here. It's well past time to look ourselves in the mirror here in America and actually do something, because you never know when it's going to happen again. You never know where it's going to happen. You just know that it is at this point in America, and it should not be that way. Look at what's working in other countries. I hate to tell you this. This is a bombshell statement. We are not the best country in the world, because this stuff happens here. And until it stops, we won't be the best country in the world. Not that it should even be about being the best country in the world. It should be about contributing to the world. What's our contribution to the world right now, America? It's time to wake up. That's what I got to say. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I
agree. Sorry, JD, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, I agree with everything you said, and I don't really think that there's anything else that I need to or should add. Something needs to be done
now.
Yeah, immediately. I was just going to add, as a parent of a young child, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. And the fact that you aren't safe going literally anywhere, to a mall, to a place of worship, to a school, to a hospital, and anywhere. You don't know what you're walking into.
Mm-hmm. And the media, by the way, has as much blood on their hands as anybody, because they keep putting the idea out there for clicks and for advertisers and for ratings. Yeah. And that's been a thorn in my side for a long time. It's why I left news media pretty early in my career, because the media is just as responsible for continuing to just parade this around for the sake of keeping people watching. Honestly, I'm at the point where, like, if you work for a cable news network, I have a hard time respecting you, because you're perpetuating this. That needs to change as well. It's
the era of the 24/7 news cycle has been, I think, a scourge on this country. And just, why do we constantly need to be talking about something? I mean, granted, I know that may have sounded a bit insensitive. This is definitely worth talking about, this issue, and
absolutely.
But the way that it's talked about,
the way that it's promoted.
Yes,
it's promoted.
Yeah,
it's like the saying, "It's not what you say, it's how you say it."
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's how you present it.
Yeah, and it's just the 24/7 news cycle, I don't believe presents news well at all.
Another thing Ken Newman and I covered on the last show too was that notion, right? And how people are desperate for good news. People are desperate for happiness. I think, and honestly, it's contributing to a lot of the mental health issues in this country. To tie it back to the previous discussion, all this, the doom parade that's put forth in the media and the absolute promotion of these horrible things, to where more people get ideas and then act upon those ideas. Like, it all needs to change. Full stop. Just needs to come to a halt. And we need to address that. And we need to say, screw the advertisers, screw the ratings, screw everything. What's going to make this better? It starts with what we consume and what is put out there for consumption.
And I think the problem gets completely exacerbated by social media, because these news networks will have some sort of, fiery clip that then starts, goes on social media and becomes viral on social media. And it just exacerbates the problem.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, because whether people realize it or not, by sharing it, they're contributing to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to call this a more innocent example given the context, but my longstanding theory has been Donald Trump became president in 2016 because of social media and because of this promotion, and because everybody saying his name in a positive or negative context on social media, put his name in the algorithms, made him the nominee, then made him the president, because all anybody was talking about was Donald Trump.
Attention is attention, no matter what it is, negative or positive.
That is true.
And it's easier than ever to get it. So we all need to be cognizant of the way we're using it and what we're putting into the world. But it starts with these outlets. It starts with these corporations that are leading that charge. They need to be held accountable. Period.
Well said.
Whew. Well, I'm going to move on to something for your ears, because it is, I've referenced last week's episode a couple times here, especially with the more serious topics. Ken Newman, musician, actor, magician, jack of all trades out there. He's
a magician.
Yeah,
Did he do magic tricks for you?
He's performed all over the place. This was such a good conversation. Like, awesome. I recommend everybody listen to it. And the work he's doing through his nonprofit Blanket the Homeless out there in the Bay Area. He puts together care packs for homeless, unhomed individuals and families out there. To this
that's
point,
awesome.
I think they've handed out about 9,000 since starting that. And there's such a level of humanity behind the work. And if you go back, listen to that episode, this is your something for your ears is last week's episode of the Quinn Spinn. Second time in a row I've done that. A little narcissistic. No, but seriously, it's such a worthwhile listen because of everything that Ken had to say. And it's one of my all-time favorite discussions on the show, hands down, which 2022 has been full of those. But yeah, go back, listen to last week's episode with Ken Newman, and support blanketthehomeless.org. That's another cause that we're actually talking about maybe doing something later this year or in the future with them, because he wants to bring that nationwide. And we're here in Nashville. There's a pretty sizable homeless population here in Nashville. I mean, you see people everywhere, in all corners of the city, even the wealthy ones, down by Brentwood, which is the rich area, historically, and as well known as that. Like, you'll see people standing with signs by the highway, by the on-ramp. That's another issue that needs to be addressed, that the infrastructure is not addressing properly. So let's take matters into our own hands, because we got, and it starts with conversations like that one last week. So that's my something for your ears. Ken Newman, humanitarian, artist of so many trades and talents, last week on the Quinn Spinn. Let's feel good, shall we? To close us out.
Let's do it. So this week's feeling good, after I sing Michael Bublé for a little bit, and I'm feeling good.
We take them off again.
Oh Lord, jeez. Oh God. Oh jeez. All right. Well, this week's feeling good has to do with schools. Yay. I got this straight from thegoodnewsnetwork.org.
Good friends of the show.
Are they really? For sure.
Oh yeah, I used to when I did the feeling good segment back in the day, I used to lift their articles all the time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we've come full circle, because I'm lifting their articles again, because Elvis Duran doesn't do feel good anymore.
What?
They don't do feel goods anymore. I couldn't find it. But that's not a feel good story. This is, because the Good News Now is now showing in 120 schools in partnership with a digital signage company. With childhood depression and anxiety rising during the pandemic and disturbing news stories only adding to the mental health burden in our schools, it's now the perfect time to be delivering some positive news headlines into hallways and classrooms across the U.S. And that's exactly what the Good News Network is now providing in a new partnership with digital signage company Rise Vision. Launching this month in over 120 schools, Rise Vision and the Good News Network are spreading positivity with uplifting news content on video screens for grades K through 12. Now, students and teachers can stop and read about kindness and scientific breakthroughs on new templates created by Rise Vision. So this is something that when you're traveling from class to class, you got some free time and you need a little pick me up, you can just find one of these television screens in one of the participating schools and read some good news. And hopefully it makes a kid's day, maybe gives kids some hope in the world, gives some teachers some hope in the world. They just look up on these screens and see something that makes them feel good. So love it. And I am confident that this is going to be in more than just 120 schools in the future. This is hopefully going to be in every school in the country.
As it should be. It should be. That's a start. See, that's a start. That's a silver lining to everything here that we touched on today on the show. Thank you, Jay.
You are welcome.
All right. Well, this has been the Quinn Spinn, and we get real here. We like to have fun. We like to get real. And you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. The Underground Music Collective YouTube in particular. Speaking of Underground Music Collective, you can learn more about the show there as well. And go to undergroundmusiccollective.com for all things independent music, wellness, anything that touches the independent creative. We're starting to do at UMC. We're starting to build community. We're starting to have these conversations. Find us on all the socials. We're going to keep doing that. And we're going to keep pumping out people's true stories through their music and through their art. And you can find that music every Tuesday on UMC 20, as well as these new episodes of the Quinn Spinn. At the bottom of the playlist is a bonus track. NashLive.live. We have shows coming up here this summer and fall. Go to that website, NashLive.live. There it is again, to find out what those are. More events to come, more community events to come as well. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, gents, for joining us.
Thank you. I am still accepting followers on YouTube. Oh, no, on what?
Twitter
and Instagram at Scotty Rock 77.
So what are you going to take off next time?
Who knows? Let's keep those followers coming.
How many do you need for us to find out?
I don't know. How many times did you just wink?
I think it was like 4 or 5.
All right, 4 or 5.
4 or 5. So 5 just to be safe. I just winked again just in case.
Let's say 10. Let's say 10. 10 followers.
Oh, goodness.
On a combined Twitter and Instagram, but I'm still accepting. I'm not cutting off yet. So
there we go.
If you're listening out there at home or watching out there at home and you're wondering, is this show ever going to get back to the off the rails, shit show that it usually is? I hope that gives you some confidence that we're about to go back to the off the rails shit show.
Yes.
And next week I'm going to be off my rocker.
Yes.
All right. That's what we love to hear.
I need to go faint at another Atlanta United game.
That'll bring things back around.
Yeah, that'll get us back on. Well, actually, get us back off the rails.
Yeah, we need to get off the rails. We were on.
We were way too on the rails on this show. This was way too organized.
Can I tell you guys though? This might have been one of my favorite episodes.
This was.
See, here's the thing. This is what I love about you. This is what I love about you, Scotty Rock. You say that off after we're done recording. You say that about almost every single episode.
No, but this one was. You got me, man. You got me.
Oh, thanks.
I think this was really important, and it's been something that I've been going through recently too. So
me three.
Yeah. I always feel guilty about like talking about real shit like this,
I think we need to do more of that.
Well, I mean, in a space where it's supposed to be, or not really supposed to, but that's more fun and kind of wacky and it's there's not a whole lot of shows I think that can pull off both of those things, the serious stuff like we did today and the wild and wacky and funny stuff. And I hope we can be one of those shows. I think we can be one of those shows, but
I think we already are.
Yeah. And I'm
not to toot my own horn.
But we'll be writing off the rails again next time. You believe you I can't even talk anymore.
Better believe that.
You bet what he said.
You bet your sweet bippy.
Sorry, there was a gust of wind and I got some cocaine. So
Grab some muffins on your way out. We'll see ya. When we
Bye.
see you later.